been in marketing and sales for over a decade. My first dabble in marketing and going toward that career field started back in 2011. Sorry, it was a while. And that's when I first hit the scene with marketing and sales. And I worked for an e-commerce company, and that was booming. That was just the increase of online purchasing and buying and just the internet consumer. And as society has changed and adjusted and generations have switched roles, we are finding now in the marketing world that people no longer react the same as they did back in the day, but yet there are still companies that refuse to change and adapt to society's adjustments and new generations of looking at things. People do not like to be nagged, and that kind of kills it for a lot of the companies that rely on cold calls or scripts or just the nagging, bugging kind of sales tactics. That does not work anymore. And I'll pull some data to show you that statistically things have changed and what you should actually be doing these days to really get a boost in sales and get your brand building up and get your sales coming in and get the traffic up. And they're proven and the data's there, and it's time to mature and it's time to adapt to society. I've always hated the tactics that they would always push and nag about how to sell a product. The funneling, the scripts, the repetition, and people do not react well to that. They immediately know you're trying to get something out of it, that you want the money, that this is your job, it's not genuine. And that is the key to how things changed in society when it comes to buying things and when it comes to sales in general. People realized the genuineness has died away. People are becoming fake. We're hiding behind digital devices instead of being our true selves, right? Catfishing is a thing now. You don't know who you're going to meet really, and they'll be an entirely different person. So that's actually reflecting in the sales world, believe it or not. So when, let's say you want to work from home, so you jump on board with one of these pyramid type things and you sell this many products, you get this, to make it big, to get Gold Star, whether it's Mary Kay, some oil business, whatever it is. Most people that try to do that, their number one way of recommending how you sell your products or build up is to funnel and nag and harass, but they won't say that. They'll just say, just share your experience and push, if someone says this, copy paste this, and this is your response. And it's really a manipulative tactic, and people know that now. They know it. We're not stupid. I think this generation has done a fantastic job by taking all of the systematic issues in this world and bringing them to light, making society face its demons and make some changes. And that's beautiful. And I'm not speaking politically, I'm not speaking on anything specific. Some of it I don't agree with, some of it I do, but I'm saying in general, that's what society and that's what just this generation is doing. They're bringing the demons of our past generations, the issues, the things that really didn't work, that weren't really commendable. And they're making us face it and make changes. And that's good and bad. Some things you shouldn't change, right? If it's not broke, don't fix it. Some things you have to change. Some things you need to be humbled, and you need to fix the system. And that really applies here in this video about sales and marketing. Now you might already sense this, but I'm going to tell you what that secret sauce is now. The change that the marketing and my fellow colleagues and executives in the marketing and communications world and sales world, they've realized this. And I've been telling them this since I got into the field back in 2011. This is what I was trying to push. What I'm going to reveal to you is the secret that they realized is a 97% difference if you apply this. It took them this long, and I've been telling people in my network that this is what we need to be doing, but they said it didn't produce numbers. Not fast enough, not at the speed that they wanted. My response was, yes, but it will produce returning customers, which we all know are more profitable and more valuable. People that will be a word of mouth, people that will return, instead of just the one click, customer, and then they realize you're full of shit or your product sucks, and then they move on to someone else. I'm not the type that I've never been good at sales. I dabbled in some being younger. I tried selling, cars or working in sales with that. I just couldn't do it. I could not BS. I could not be fake. I could not manipulate. I've never been that type of person. It's so hard for me. And when I was a stay-at-home mom and all these things, start selling this and selling that, I'm like, I can't bug people. I can't nag them. I can't try to manipulate or seduce or convince. I can't do that. Now I can make magic behind the scenes. I can create this beautiful website and let you people do all the manipulating or the marketing. I can create the marketing content, and I can create the logos, and I can create the verbiage, and I can make sure we do all the proper tagging and SEO enhancements. But when it comes to me verbally telling someone something that I know might be slightly BS, I can't do that. And a lot of people can't, but a lot of people can. And they might not stand behind 100% something. And there are the rare cases where they really do. They tell you and try to convince you on something that really is something they believe personally, but that's not common. So what is the 97% of a growth secret ingredient? Personality. I know, right? I was trying to tell them this, and I can only hope that my words have come back to haunt them, because they've missed years, over a decade of opportunity if they had just listened to my advice and changed their branding and marketing tactic to having a personality. Again, back to my point on society. We want genuineness, and it shows in our wallets. We gravitate to a personality that's in front of a brand. And you're seeing that everywhere with Flow and Progressive. You're seeing that with celebrities and influencers promoting something with their personality, with their uniqueness that we all come to love, or if we're fans on, we will listen to them because we're already fans. We respect them and their personality. So if they're trying to push a brand, we're probably going to waste our money and go check it out. If The Rock promoted it, and I'm going to, heck yeah. People want genuineness. And that's the key to sales. That's the key to marketing. And all of that being successful, 97% of a growth when a company changed their marketing tactic to add a personality to their brand. That is why I've been saying for years that you need to create your brand story. That's something I've pushed on my own company with my own marketing firm that I own, that I'm the CEO of. I was literally one of the first that was our motto. That was our mission statement. What's your brand story? That's telling you what is your unique genuineness to your brand. That's what people want to see. And again, because we live in a society that's trying to bring out all the demons and try to clean up, the only problem is what's the rule book? What's the Bible that they're using? The spiritual reference that they're using to clean up the systematic issues in our nation or world. That's the problem. That's not what this video is about, because God knows I don't even have the answer to that. So, but they're still trying to do that. That's naturally in the desires of this generation, as you can clearly see. We're trying to make the world a better place. Unfortunately, they're never going to succeed unless they can figure out where the source is that they're trying to implement to the world and what that is. But they care. They want genuine rawness. They don't want to listen to BS. They don't want to have a cold call. They don't want to waste their time. Cold calls are useless now. You'll get hung up. There's already spamming apps that will block numbers. Kill it. Don't even waste your money. Don't waste your marketing budget on that. Be done with sales that are boring or a part of scripts that have zero rawness to them. Because society has officially changed and you will eventually go out of business because your brand doesn't have a personality to it. It doesn't have a story. And all the data is popping up now. All of it. And it's kind of annoying because, man, if I wasn't such a hermit, find a personality that could lead your business, and then you will succeed. People want genuineness, personality, and rawness. That's just the way we are. So the days of cold sales are gone. And there's going to be some people that disagree, that think it'll return, that we're just going through a typical gradual graph, and that things will be leveled out to the norm. But I think at this point, it's safe to say, the world is changing so much, we could never go back to the way it was in the 90s. Those days are gone. We will figure out some balance, sure. Some people will get some revelations. Maybe they'll eventually realize the source of this goodness that they're wanting to push out into the world, and then it'll actually be successful. But until they do that, until society finds that source and references it accurately, we're going to be changing in this direction, and it's going to continue on. Now, there are some brands that I stand wholly behind. There are some companies that I stand wholly behind. I'm an influencer. I talk about brands, I push brands, and yeah, I make a percentage. But your goal for me and fellow influencers is one thing we will say is we stand by those things that we choose to work with. They really do work, or they really do change your life for the better. They're really worth your money. Not because I want 1% and I want you to go out and buy it so I can get money. We have opportunities as influencers to say yes to a lot of brands. And really, if we were in it for the negative reasons and just to make it big, you would notice if that was the influencer's goal. So whoever you're following, I'm sure if you're a fan of them, then they've got to be genuine and the personality is there. And if they push a product, you're most likely going to trust their opinion if you're a follower of theirs, just like you are of me. If you've been here and have subscribed to my channel, which I'm honored, but I would hope and probably know that you really do value my opinion because of my personality, because of my genuineness, because of my uniqueness. I'm a human being that you want to know. And so you're here listening to me. I'm honored. But you trust my genuineness. So if I was to talk about a brand, which I do talk about different brands, I'm really standing behind them. And you know that. So if you're a company, if you're an influencer, so this video should help both of you, whether you're a company and a brand wanting to boost sales and don't know why you're not, or whether you're an influencer or a person with an awesome personality and want to represent a brand and wants to maybe stop seeming like you're just a salesperson and you're really not genuine. You want to come off as believable because you are. Well, now you know where the generation, where society is, what changes you need to make. The stats are there, and it's been there. They've been in the shadows as I kept trying to convince my colleagues and people that I've worked with throughout the decade. And now it's finally out. All you have to do is browse social media. Things changed. Video marketing is huge. I don't think it'll ever go away. People are just, when they go on social media, they typically don't want to waste time reading. Unfortunately, society is getting a little bit lazy when it comes to reading and keeping their attention span, especially in the digital world. So movement catches their eye. Video marketing is taking off. That's why Instagram has changed. They're moving more towards video marketing and videos. versus images and still shots. And we're having to adapt. If you have something that you're trying to push to the public, you're going to have to adapt. Well, same goes with the sales and marketing. You got to adapt to society and how they're viewing things and what's going to convince them to buy your brand. What does your brand say? What's your brand story? I should trademark that shit. I still do that on my business side, so go take a look at my business if you actually need help doing that. I help brands find their personality. That's what I do. That's what I've been doing for years. What is your story? And if you can effectively communicate that, then you will boost your sales and your traffic, because that is what society is wanting and craving these days more than anything else, is genuineness, raw, authenticness. And that should actually be praised. That society has kind of matured, that they're no longer looking for just this fake, quick satisfaction or being easily manipulated, that we're actually getting smarter and we're going to make other people work for us, for our money, for our attention. That should be praised. And as a company, as a brand, these people are what makes you successful. So you should want to adapt. Here's your free advice.